Are you pretty good at beating yourself up? I know I am. If I mess up an appointment or miss a deadline, forget to text a friend back, sometimes with summer in full swing, there's so much to do, I'm like, oh, I haven't been the mom I want to be. Does it happen to you as well? I know that I have a very active inner gremlin. I come from a long line of perfectionistic women, and while I don't want to be that way, I really am. And so I have to find ways around it. Back in my 20s, I dated the wrong guy. He was telling me all about my deficiencies all the time. Like I wasn't quite thin enough, and my muscles weren't defined enough, and my outfits weren't tight enough, my shorts weren't short enough, my hair wasn't blonde enough, it wasn't long enough, my boobs weren't big enough, nothing was enough, I wasn't enough. And so I've learned to internalize how deficient I am and beat myself up. Treat myself very military style to try and address all of my perceived deficiencies. I wish I had known back then, number one, to break up with a guy like that really quick. My husband now just loves my body just the way it is, and that feels a whole lot better. So, rule number one, break up with a bad guy. But also, number two, I wish I had known the power of doing things like this. Or, that's one of my favorite ones, something like this. Just like we hug a kid when he's sad or when he feels like he's messed up, to try and bring him comfort, we can use these same gestures of compassion towards ourselves. And when we do that, just like when we do it with the kids, our body responds with a release of oxytocin. And with that oxytocin mingling in, we can start to feel better about whatever happened. Research also shows that self-compassion is a better way to motivate ourselves than to treat ourselves military style. Now, I wish I had known that when I was still trying to compete with Barbie, but it took me another 20 years to discover it. Why? Because when I heard of self-compassion, I was thinking that it was kind of weak. I was thinking that a good kick in the butt would serve me better, but turns out that no. And for that discovery, I have my friend Cassie Christopher to thank. Cassie is a registered dietitian, a coach, and a self-proclaimed nerd. And she has studied Kristin Neff's theory of self-compassion. And she's told me all about it on a phone call that convinced me to give it a try. Now, if you still feel like you need a little extra convincing, listen to this. This one is from Jonathan Fisher, one of the top cardiologists in the nation. And he says that, as a heart doctor, I prescribe self-compassion for my heart patients and teach them the practice because it reduces stress and anxiety, which are risk factors for cardiovascular disease. Self-compassion may also help reduce inflammation and lower blood pressure. That's when I went, ding, 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 ding! Using biochemistry to get from where we are to where we want to be? Now that's right up my alley, as I'm sure you know by now. So if we start to act kindly towards ourselves, not just talk kindly to ourselves, feelings of true warmth and caring will start to follow, and that's when we can finally shush that inner gremlin and make positive progress. I had always thought that talking to ourselves kindly came first, and since I'm not real good at that, I was giving up on the whole thing. But no. Talking to ourselves kindly comes more naturally after we've acted kindly. So guys, I invite you to try it out too. And please remember to thank Cassie and Jonathan in the comments below. Last thought for today. If you are having a bad day for no good reason at all, and you like the idea of using how we act in order to fix how we think, check my unexpected tip to boost your mood fast right here. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here, and please remember, each time you like, comment, share, or subscribe, you help me continue to support you on your health and wellness journey.